Right on his tape. V cuts in the front. V!
Michigan scored!
Time snuck away from the Reapers. Pass the dazzle! Off the post!
Tack has Doug dancing behind him. Doug's head whipping back and forth and doesn't.
Looking for a shot here. Wheels fires and scores!
Oh! My
Series
goodness!
over. Good night, Anaheim.
Finding that spot, he's gonna be rewarded with another chance. Off the stick, how did Katie save that?
Saw with another pass across Titan with a shot on the net and he scores!
Short of the smudge. Now it's a breakaway pass. Buzz flip it. Look out, he's got an open net. Oh no! Buzz flip it. Puts him out now. Nice little play by Spaceballs. Nice. Here comes Spaceballs. He walks in with Savo. Pass over to Savo. Score!
Awkward play. Big hit by Log. Holy!
Shot one wide. Deflected by Echo. Glenn jumping on the goal. Now Paco in front. He scored!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to D2 Playoffs, your first series and first game of D2 Playoffs. I am Alley Cat, hosting today on my own. Today we will have the Sierra Nevada Grizzlies take on the league-leading Rocky Mountain Reapers. And as we see here... Save in the commentary. Yes, it will be streamed. It might overlap, so you might get a different stream, but yes. Just a little info for some people. As I said, the Rocky Mountain Reapers are the league leaders. They faltered a little bit in their regular season record towards the final 2 games or so, but they finished pretty strong, managed to clinch the series, and the Sierra Nevada Grizzlies a little bit lower on the pecking order, I want to say, about 8th seed if I remember correctly, based on standings, but just managing to barely get in a playoff spot and managed to squeak past the Spirit of St. Louis. So we will see what they get up to. So we will see what each team has to offer as teams get ready to start the game. And here we go at center ice as the Reapers win it, as Pretty wins the face-off up to Madon. Moose takes it away in the Grizzly zone. Moose sending it up to Mitch. Mitch going in, Pretty. It's in the neutral zone. Still in the neutral zone being fought for as Berube joins me in the box. Welcome, Berube.
Hello, Elliot. Pleasure to be here.
Good to have you here. As we're getting underway, happy to have you here for color commentary as we get underway between. As Moose sends a shot right on Skull, and it just barely glances off his pads and goes wide in the net. Panther getting a hold of it as it's poked away by JB. Madon coming up with it. Madon trying to go for a break. Trying to beat him 2-on-0. He might handle it, but it's just batted away by Mitchkov. Mitchkov making a name for himself with Hobart and D3 yesterday, as the Grizzlies take it up to the neutral zone. Madon smash moving in to the offensive zone as Mitchkov puts it back in the neutral zone, sends it up to Panther. Panther who gets a clean shot, and he just shoots wide of Skull, barely missing the net there. Still in the neutral zone as it's sent down to JB, as JB attacks with it. Madon at center, at the blue line, excuse me, as he lays out Panther, who returns the hit and lays Madon out in fashion. And JB shoots, and it's just wide of Price, who I think managed to get a stick on it as it sits dangerously behind as Supa sends it out. Shoots it all the way down and ices the puck to the Reapers as they reset. JB along the boards, sending it back around, back to Pretty. Resetting the play. Now the Reapers will control as they play on the attack. Pretty shoots it up as it goes across, off the crossbar, on top of the net, and it goes over the net safely as a very dangerous opportunity for the Reapers is denied by the Grizzlies. Panther coming up with it. Panther gets a try, but he just manages to get it put off his stick as Panther is in behind the net. Panther trying to control it as it's stolen away by Galactic. As it's sent back to Madon. Madon going up with it. Madon at center ice. Trying to go with it as he sends it across to Price, who tries to get it but can't control it. It's behind the pads, and he smartly manages to turn it around to... But I think it was a Reapers player that accidentally sent it all the way up there, but that was a great controlled play by Price, who manages to turn around in time and safely control it. And now JB will come up center ice as he shoots it across to the other side. And Galactic will steal it away from Panther, and he will go behind the net in a dangerous area as he tries to get it behind the pads of Price in a corner shot, but he misses, and Price bats it away. And Supa sends it across to Moose, but Moose does not get lucky and will not have a clean shot there, but it's sent up to Panther, who's along the boards. Panther with it controlling. Moose loses it as Madon heads up right side of the boards as he shoots it all the way across, and it's just a little high at Price, who tries to jump for it. Mitchkov along the boards as it's poked away by Galactic, who manages to get a stick on it, but it still goes a little far. As we continue in the period between the Rocky Mountain Reapers and the Sierra Nevada Grizzlies. Grizzlies send it all the way down. As Mitchkov gets it across, and he's got a dangerous shot across, and he scores! Mitchkov managing to get a top shelf slot there as he cuts in across. There's no defender, and he catches the Reapers unaware. Great goal by Mitchkov, and we shall see how the Reapers respond here, or if the Grizzlies continue to pour the pressure on. Saved by Price there as it's shot by Madan. Galactic comes away with it. But Madan battles for it there, keeps it going as it's sent up to Panther, who gets it across, and JB doesn't quite get his stick on it. And Pretty will come up along the left side of the boards for the Reapers, as Galactic tries to send a shot across, but it's just a little low, and Pretty tries to come in, but there is nothing there, and we will go to the second period. What did you think of the first period there? Rube, what do you think?
I arrived a little late, so I missed the first little bit but from the parts that I did catch, I'd say both teams had their fair share of action. Mitchkov he was very clinical with his finish there. Got the Grizzlies up on the board. First goal is quite critical, so I think the Grizzlies have put themselves in a strong position to see this one out, but nonetheless, I wouldn't count out the Reapers just yet.
Yeah, Mitchkov definitely proving himself as a playoff performer. He's done the same thing with Hobart Bay earlier, and he seems to be doing the same thing again. It's almost odd to see, you know, it's cool to see these like new up-and-coming players really make a name for themselves, especially those that maybe didn't get time last year, weren't even available last year, or from different leagues. So these sort of, hopefully we'll see them there as Moose comes across with it, and it's off the post of the Reaper's net as he gets a really good chance there, and it's sent up to Madan, who's all alone on a breakaway. But Supa tries to cut in and tries to get him across. Madan getting across, and it tries to beat him in the 5-hole. And Price, Galactic trying again as it's not capitalized on. Price denies both of them. What a play by Price to deny that. Panther trying to cut across the defense of the Reapers, but they will come away with it as JB sends it up to Pretty as Moose yoinks it away and tries to get it behind off the post of Moose, but it goes up off the metal as Panther tries to cut across with it. Panther going for center, trying to go a long shot, and it's well wide of the net as Skull watches JB along the corner of the defensive end for the Reapers. Going up the boards with it, setting the tone and the play. JB moving to the blue line, trying to get a shot across, and it's batted away by Moose. As Madan steals it away for the Reapers. Battle between, nope, Supa comes away with that and sends it up the boards. As the Reapers will control it in their own defensive end. Grizzlies have it back in their own end. Moose along with it. Moose behind his own net, dangerously coming up to the left side, and Galactic just misses trying to get the stick on there. Moose controlling. Galactic trying to cut across towards him as Galactic does indeed take it away, and it's a 2-on-1 here as Galactic goes with JB. Galactic tries to deke around it, but he just does not manage it. Mitch sends it across all the way to Moose, who is wide open and cutting in, and Panther tries to get a shot off, and it's just a little over his stick. Pretty will reset in his own end as he sends it up for Mitchkov to bat away. Galactic going in the offensive end, trying to get it across, and he misses as Supa gets it up. As JB comes out with it, JB going to center, and Supa bats it away to deny him a chance at scoring. As JB loops around trying to return to his original scoring chance, but he managed to misses it. JB along the boards. Supa going up as Pretty steals it away from Panther. And Panther manages to go away with it somehow, as Skull is all the way outside his net, and Panther sends it across, but he just manages to miss it. No angle on there for it to bounce off the net, as Madon steals it away, bounces it off the boards, and will return it to center ice for the Reapers to come back on the attack. Madon going all alone, shooting, and it's a little wide as Galactic tries the backdoor slot and just manages to miss it and go wide as Madon tries curling around, and it's stolen away by Michkov, who sends it up to center ice as Pretty bats it down to Madon. Madon, who's all alone. Madon taking a shot, and it's off the post and bouncing across of Price's crease. And Galactic will get it along behind the net, but he doesn't manage to do anything with it as Galactic tries again, sends a pass to JB, who doesn't manage to get it on his stick, but he goes and hits the post of the... Nope, sorry, he hits the netting, and Price manages to get the stick on there to poke it back towards his teammate as Panther sends it up to Moose. Moose with it as Pretty steals it away for the Reapers as Pretty sends it up to Galactic, and Supa will bat it away to take the pressure off the Grizzlies. And Mitch sends it up, but Madon will bat that away in time. And Mitch will return it by sending it away. And it's JB who ends up with it. JB across as Price gets a pat on it to deny Madon or Galactic a chance. I couldn't quite see who that was. But that will do it for the second period. A very, very defensively strong period for the Grizzlies, I want to say. They've been very strong on the defense so far with the takeaways. What do you think, Berube?
Yeah, definitely. Their defensive game has definitely stepped up. They're holding on to that lead they have so far. They might be sacrificing a little bit of offense, but like you're saying, the defense has been quite solid and they've retained their lead, so let's see if they continue to do that in the third period.
Yeah, we'll definitely see if the defense holds strong. We've seen cases where offense hasn't come across as much as defense, and I think the whole story really has been defense and goaltending. You know, offense is flashy and all, but, you know, defense wins playoffs battles, but we'll see. Galactic tries to send it across. Panther up the boards as he sends it up to Moose, who will win the race against Pretty to get there, but he doesn't manage to get it in the right place. JB tries to send it all the way up to Madon, but he fumbles it, and so does Supa, as Supa will win the race and send it across to Michkov behind the net as Michkov loses hold of it, and Supa will get it. Madon trying to get a stick on it, but he doesn't manage it. Panther with it up in the neutral zone, sending it across to Moose. Moose holding, not quite managing to get it off his stick in time as he still tries to battle for it. Moose going all the way around, trying a wraparound, and Skull has his pad in the right place at the right time and bats it away from his net, denying Moose any chance to get loose in the offensive zone. Apologies there, my mic fell. Not sure if that came across on stream, but we will roll with it as Madon will control it in his own end. Moose trying to get loose again, trying to go with it as he cuts across, sends it wide, and it's just a little off the stick of Skull, and who manages to save it and keep his team in the game as Madon battles for it, racing to send it up and sends it to center for JB. JB who goes in, and it's blocked by Panther as Galactic gets a shot off, and it's off the pads of Price, who is doing phenomenally for the Grizzlies in keeping them in this game as the 8th seed. Definitely more of an underdog story here. I don't want to jinx too much, but as we know, the commentator's curse is very much alive and well. It's happened more than enough times here, but the Grizzlies definitely showing that they are way, way better than their regular season record shows. as JB cuts across with it and goes behind the net. Galactic sending it down, cross. JB trying to come away with it, sends it back to Pretty, who doesn't manage to control it as it's sent back to Madan at center ice, who shoots it down back into the Grizzlies' end. Supa sends it up to center ice, as it will be battled for there, and no one quite manages to come away with it, but Galactic manages to poke it back into the Grizzly zone, as Michkov sends it back up to once again be fought for and chased, as time runs out for the Rocky Mountain Reapers to make a play here. Shooting it all the way down, as it barely, very good long shot as it comes just high of the net, and Price manages to get a really good save on that. JB running with it, sending it down, and manages to miss the net of Price, as 90 seconds remain in this game, as it's sent up to Moose to try for another chance for the Grizzlies, and manages to stay in the possession of the Rocky Mountain Reapers, as it's sent to Madonna, as it's taken away by Moose, who's on the loose all alone, sending a shot, and it's over the net of Skull. Moose definitely going to want that one back as he takes it back away. He's alone again, shooting it across, and Skull gets the body on it to make a save for the Reapers. Madon sending it up there as Panther grabs it, intercept. Panther taking a shot across as it's batted away by Madon, as Michkov will control and send it back up to Panther and Pretty, who race for it, as Panther decides to go back for it rather than race Pretty for it. Pretty coming down, trying to make one last play for the Reapers as 30 seconds remain, as Galactic hits Price out of his net. JB, with 20 seconds remaining, really trying to put the pressure on as he sends it up to Galactic and Madon, as Galactic sends it wide with 15 seconds to go. Supa in the corner as he bats it up to clear it for the Grizzlies. Pretty at center ice. Panther coming down, wasting time. Panther shooting it wide and high of the net of Skull, as that is going to do it. And the Sierra Nevada Grizzlies will take the first game of the series. Definitely a great game so far, yeah. We will be right back, folks. Berube and I just have to take a quick flight to Sierra Nevada. We will be back in one moment. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Berube and I are joined in Sierra Nevada, the home of the Grizzlies, as they lead the series 1-0 as we get underway here. Oh, no, as it goes into warm-up. Apologies, folks. The camera wasn't focused there. Berube is... Sniping Raider wants to know if you were flying the plane, Berube.
Sniping Raider, I was co-piloting. The pilot's identity I cannot share because I signed an NDA.
Yes, we need
I
to
know, unfortunately.
keep the protective identity of of the pilot. But Berube, let's get a little going here. So, you know, the Rocky Mountain Reapers as the top team against the 8th seed are definitely the favorites coming into this. You know, they had a really good season. They faltered a little bit in the final few weeks, but they managed just to squeeze a couple wins in order to clinch the regular season top seed. So it's a bit of a surprise that Nevada's, you know, leading already. So it's a question of, do you think they have another gear to turn on, or is Sierra Nevada just kind of giving that scrappy underdog energy?
Well, maybe they got complacent. I'm thinking maybe a little bit of complacency seeped in. As we like to say, maybe they weren't locked in, for lack of a better term. So
Yep.
if they are the team that warrants a #1 seed on merit, they will step up to that higher gear you were mentioning and go ahead and probably take the second game. But then again, maybe they've just gotten complacent.
Yeah, complacency can kind of set in when you're kind of the top team sometimes, but there's different levels to it. I think the talent on the Rocky Mountain Reapers is definitely there. I mean, you look at Skull, who's one of the best goalies in D2. You look at Madon, and you look at a bunch of their sorry, I don't have the roster with me right now. Give me 1 second. You look at their players. Madon, who's had 40 points this season, Pretty, who's had 31, JB 34. They only have one player who's, they only have one player who's gotten less than double-digit points, and it's Skull, who's played 32 games and gotten eight assists as a goalie. So a whole team that's in the double digits and easily that high. Like, I think collectively, if my math is there, that's over 100 points between four players. So I think there is a gear that they can turn on, but it's a question of whether Sierra Nevada has kind of clicked in the second game here. We've seen comebacks plenty in the series and in playoffs in general.
Yeah, being a Leafs fan, I am used to performance drop-offs in the playoffs, though. So.
Yes, we. Speaking of Toronto media, I want to give a quick shout out to the Blue Jays, who are currently playing Game 7. I have no idea what the score is, but
I have
as a
the
Canadian,
stream running.
do you? Yeah,
Yeah, top of the fourth, Mariners at bat. It's 2-1 Seattle, 2 outs,
Oh, okay.
a guy on second.
All right. Well, still always a chance, and as we know in the. Maybe not. Well, I can't say I'm a Toronto fan, but goalie. No, sorry. Let's return back to the PHL and back to everything. Let's return to this. But yes, definitely a season that could go either way. But Rocky Mountain Reapers definitely are going to have more to prove here. They do not want to get eliminated as the top seed. That's probably going to raise a few eyebrows about the quality of their team, or maybe the quality of their roster playing together. I mean, you have a lot of wins, and we've seen a pattern of a lot of early wins from a lot of teams that don't necessarily carry all the way into the playoffs or the end of the season. There's some teams that just get really hot at the end of the season that really manage to carry that into the playoffs, but it's not always the case. It's just patterns that we see that we recognize.
Yeah.
So as we're starting to get underway, as the players get ready to play in the second game, as it's elimination game for the Rocky Mountain Reapers and a clincher for the Sierra Nevada Grizzlies, with both teams' seasons either on the line or ready to get going, as it's sent into the Rocky Mountain Reapers zone. Sent up the boards to Galactic, as he sends it up to Pretty across to JB. Galactic sending a pass across, and he doesn't quite get it as Moose intercepts, and Galactic bats across, and he sends it up as Price gets the pad on it to bat that into the corner, as Madon tries to flick it up, as it's sent across to JB at the blue line, who tries to send it all the way across, as Supa bats it out of the way safely. JB at center ice, sending it all the way down. Madon in the corner, sending it up. JB pokes it to center ice as Moose gets loose with it. Galactic, and a chance denied by Marcus as Madon tries again. Sends it up, and it's denied by Supa as Pretty comes away with it on the boards. Going to the net as it's sent up to Panther. Panther, as he faces JB, as Panther gets a shot opportunity in, and it's batted away by Skull, who gets it in his 5-hole, and it's batted in by Panther, as Skull didn't quite manage to get the pads correctly on. Oh, it's just pads to the bottom, and it's off the groin and just down. Really tough block for Skull, as Sierra Nevada comes up with it. Great goal by Panther and an assist by Supa. And a great breakaway chance to put the Grizzlies up 1-0 as Skull makes a save on it and sends it to the corner for Madan. Madan sending it up to Galactic. Back down to Pretty, who manages to lose it a little bit as Moose gets away with it. Moose sending it out and sending it back as Skull gets the body on it to save and deny Moose a chance. Moose continuing to have it as he tries to get it up to Panther, and it's taken away by the Reapers in their own end as JB goes up with it, sends it across to Madan, who doesn't quite get it with it, as Marcus controlling it as it's up in the air. At center ice, Galactic sending it down across as Price gets the stick to bat that away. To continue this game as solidly as he has, as Pretty gets it up and over the net. Reaper's not quite getting shots exactly where they want as Panther comes away with it again. Deking, Panther coming away with it, and he sends it up, and Panther scores again. Just over the pad of Skull.
They do say the 2-goal lead's the worst lead in hockey. Grizzlies
They
are
do.
hoping that's not true.
They do indeed, and the Sierra Nevada Grizzlies proving that they are not just a 1-goal team like last game where it was 1-0 in the final, as Madan sends it across and it's interrupted by Supa. Panther up with it. Pretty taken away. Galactic loses it in a turnover to Moose, but he manages to fight for it and gets it across, but no one was home as Supa bats it away in a fight with JB, and Galactic manages to push it down as Panther decides he's had enough of this and sends it all the way down into the Reaper's end, and Pretty will control it in the zone end. Pretty controls it as he sends it up center ice to Madan. Madan sending it across as Moose. Moose sends it up dangerously and just manages to get it away. Oh, excuse me. As JB sends it up to Madan. Madan on a break, but he doesn't manage to get his stick on it in time to make a play as it's missed by JB, and Panther is going to race Pretty for it, but Pretty will come away with it. As Panther flicks his stick in frustration, he's looking for that hat trick. He definitely wants it. He's definitely their most offensive player right now. I believe he has all 3 goals in the series. Don't quote me on that, but I want to say he did score the first goal.
Michkov scored the first one.
Oh, Michkov, yes.
I don't remember,
Michkov did indeed score the goal. I apologize. Moose sending it up, and Skull manages to get the body on it again to keep the Reapers in it. Galactic sending it up and ices it all the way down. And sends it to Panther in the corners, as that will do it for the first period. Rube, I'm not sure what you think here, but I'm thinking the Reapers are in a little bit of hot water.
Yeah, can't afford to go down 2-0, and they're down 2-0 in the game already, so they'll be hoping to turn that around, but overall this is not the start you would have wanted after that Game 1 disappointment.
Yeah, Skull not in perfect form, it seems like he normally is, and it seems that the Reapers' offense has gone a little quiet. And the Sierra Nevada Grizzlies have capitalized on it as Galactic fights for it, as he sends it up to Madon, but he manages to flip away with it as it's battled in by Madon, and Galactic is going to come away with it as Supa tries to cut in across, and Galactic sends it high of Price. Really consistent theme of the Reapers shooting a little high of the net and not getting scoring exactly where they want it. As it's behind the net, as JB takes it away. JB sends it up to Madon. Madon trying to cut across as Price sends it across. Marcus sending it up as Panther tries to get it and loses it, so he will send it to Pretty. Pretty sending it up across the right as it's batted away by Panther, who manages to get the stick on it. Panther managing to cut across and still managing to maintain possession, racing it. Going up with it, lifting his stick as he sends it. He's shooting and he scores! Panther with the hat trick to make it 3-0 for the Grizzlies. Great play by Panther with the stick lift and cutting across to his forehand and then just shooting it high. Great for him, and with that, Panther has his hat trick. Reapers are definitely going to need something to get a spark going. They seem a little quiet right now. Moves along the boards as he sends it to the logo to Panther. Panther cutting in as he loses it to Madon as Moose wins it back. And will cut in with it and will go for a shot, and he sends it back to control for the Grizzlies as Marcus will get back to it as he sends it down to Supa. Supa sending it back across and doesn't quite get to either Moose or Madon as they were just tangling. Moose wins it back along the boards as it was sent down by JB and sends it up to Panther, who's in by himself except Pretty, who manages to push it back, and JB and Madon will go with it as JB slows it down a little bit as Marcus puts it back in as Madon tries cutting across to a pass where no one was there. JB cutting across, and he manages to lose it as Moose gets away with it, attempting for a 3-on-1, but he loses it to Pretty, who sends it back to the neutral zone to Galactic, who sends it back up to Madon in the offensive zone. And Panther taking it behind his net as he sends it up across the ice to Supa, who gets it and sends it back and ices it as Skull is out of his net and leaving the puck there for his defender to take. Reapers along the boards, sending it. Cutting across, shooting, and it's high again as Galactic tries to catch Price with the pads there, but Price denies him with a smart position there as Galactic tries to jump for it and get a tip in there, but he manages to not quite get there. And Madon along the boards trying once more to make a play here, but there's no one there once again, and the Reapers just not in position to make the offensive plays they really need. As they bounce it along the boards, Madon at center ice, trying to go up. Madon sends it deep into the offensive zone as Supa nails Galactic to leave him scrambling to get up and make a play as JB wins it. JB coming across as he shoots a little wide of where he wanted it and sends it behind as it goes back to Marcus across, who gets it out of the defensive zone, and he will lose it as it stays in the neutral zone as Supa shoots it all the way up to Panther as Madon steals it back. Marcus cutting across as Madon slaps it all the way down, sacrificing the body to try and make a play as Price comes away with it, staying with it as he shoots it all the way down to Panther, who will get it at the blue line and sends it all the way across to Moose, who might get a shot off here as he flips it up a couple times with no reprieve as Panther lays JB out in a hit that leaves him scrambling Pretty, sending it across to JB. JB sending it up. Panther Moose trying for one on try as Skull gets it away as Moose will come away with it again, but it manages not to quite get there as JB will send it up to end the period of this second game. Elimination. What could be the Reapers' last period of the PHL Season 2. And I don't think this is what anyone or they expected going into this. What about you?
Definitely not. Would not have expected it. Good on the Grizzlies for putting on a strong upset showing. Maybe they realized some weaknesses in the Reapers games and pre-game and taking advantage of those, but boy, has this been the shocker.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting play, and I think we'll definitely see what happens here. Especially you wouldn't expect from a team who only managed to win, I believe, by one regulation win, and having that over the previous team. Otherwise, they would not have made it to the playoffs. So good on them for being scrappy as it's battled here as Panther gets it along the boards, puts the break check on the Reapers as Marcus comes away with it. Galactic sending it up as the Grizzlies win that fight back as he sends it across to Moose. Moose sends it back across, and Galactic will come away with it, trying for a breakaway, but he manages to get it taken away as Supa sends it all the way up to Panther. Panther trying to get a play here, but he doesn't manage it as JB comes up the center, sending it to Madon along the boards. Madon cutting across and not managing to get something there as it batted away on his stick. Madon sending it across behind to Galactic as he sends it over the boards, and it wasn't quite there for the play Galactic wanted as it's over the body of Price and not quite behind the pads where I expected he wanted it to go. Pretty along the boards. Pretty blocked by Marcus, who will send it up to try and clear it as Madon going away with it as Supa takes it away. Panther using the boards as his helper here and sending it back down to Marcus. Marcus, who's away with it, get a shot off the skull of Skull in this case, as it's sent back to JB. JB pretty shoots it across, and he manages to get a pad on it, and Price with a really quick save to keep his second shutout of the series alive. And his chances of it seeming to increase with each save he makes as Moose shoots it across, and it's off the post to deny the fourth goal of this game for Panther, as Galactic will come up with it. Panther will come up. Panther coming up for a chance as he sends it. Skull getting the stick and body in the right places. Panther comes across for another chance, and Galactic manages the pressure there as Panther comes across, really going for it again, and Galactic will put the body on once more. Galactic wrapping around and sending it all the way up as Price comes out with it to make a play, shooting it up, dangerously close coming there as I think Galactic tried to get it, catch Price unaware, but he was not. And he sends it back up as it gets iced into the Reaper's end. Skull coming out with it, trying to make a play as the clock runs down, and the chances for the Reapers to continue their dominant season is getting farther and farther. Season seemingly to slip from their grasp as Moose sends it all the way down to Panther. Panther, who's all alone with it apart from Pretty, as he puts the brake check on and he tries to win the battle, but Pretty will manage it there. And Pretty will control it in his own end as time continues to wind down. He sends it all the way down to Galactic, but he's not in the right position as he sends it up to Madon, who couldn't get a stick on it. And here comes Panther. Moose 2-on-1 as Moose sends it up, and JB will stick lift at the right time to get it away. JB and Moose battling for it as we're down to the last minute for the Reapers to do anything about it and even score a goal as he loses it to Moose. Moose, Panther on the loose. Moose sending it up and over and misses Skull's net. Galactic coming up with it, Madon. Madon, Galactic getting a shot off, and Price manages a save there. As Pretty takes it in the corner, Madon trying to come away with it. JB trying to make a play as the Grizzlies will send it down. As the Reapers, I believe, have pulled their goalie as Marcus sends a shot and he misses the net. 5 skaters for the Reapers now as they try to manage anything to get a goal here, as Madon cutting across to make a shot. Madon sending it and he hits the post. And at the last 5 seconds, the Grizzlies will send it all the way down, and that will do it for the Reapers season as the Sierra Nevada Grizzlies win this tournament in a dominant fashion. 3-0 in this game and 1-0 previously to win this series and move on and beat the best team in D2. And I don't know about you, Barubi, but I don't think this was expected by almost anyone here as they line up for handshakes, showing sportsmanship.
Yeah, not at all. You were mentioning before their impressive points totals in the regular season. Kind of like leaves it all dried up come playoff time.
But yes, then the Sierra Nevada Grizzlies will sweep and shut out the Rocky Mountain Reapers in every single game, as Panther definitely takes this for the best player of this series. And Price showing his skill, and we will see this come playoffs. As now we are drawing to a close, and currently the I never pronounce this correctly. Schuylkill.
It's school kill, I believe.
Schuylkill. Yeah, it's one of those names you can never pronounce. Schuylkill Channel Cats take on the Hawaiian High Rollers on PHL Network 2. So please join there as it's currently underway. And we wish you a very pleasant night. As Barube, do you have anything else to say?
Nothing much other than thanks to everyone for tuning in.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we wish you a pleasant night. Good night.
Oh, it's the Smudge. The Smudger down low. Shrimp Gumbo. Good defensive play. Kingtron. Kingtron tries to wrap it around. No chance. The defense really boxing off the offensive zone for the Smudge. Now it's a breakaway pass. Buzz flip it. Look out. He's got an open net. Oh no. Buzz flip it. You have got to be kidding me. Well, now we know why he's in the booth more than the ice. No, I'm just kidding, Buzz. But, oh, man. His head is down. I've been there too, buddy. That was rough. 1-1 tie still. A chance for Buzz Flibbit to end it. Puff was thinking about coming out. Well, he did, actually. There's no thinking about it when you do it. And now they'll start all the way back in the Fire Ant zone. They're down low. They'll pass it up. It's Miku, number 39, for the Fire Ants. Typically a goalie, but he's taking a day off. Now Shrimp Gumbo. Good steal for the visitors. Shrimp Gumbo. Nice purple tape. Ooh, can't get around the defense.